All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to crack open the private journal of one of history's most powerful men, the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius. And our mission is simple: to pull out a practical, ancient toolkit that can actually help us with our very modern, and let's be honest, chaotic lives. I know, it sounds like a big claim, right? But Marcus Aurelius wasn't just some emperor in an ivory tower. This was a guy who dealt with betrayal, a massive plague, and pretty much constant war. He faced the same stuff we do. You know, annoying people, feeling totally overwhelmed, and even that late-night existential dread. And he built a mental framework to handle all of it. So let's dive in and see what he figured out. So his first tool is something he did every single morning. I want you to think of it like putting on mental armor before you even walk out the door. It's specifically designed to prepare you for the difficult people you're almost guaranteed to meet.
He does not sugarcoat it one bit. He starts his day with a straight-up dose of reality, basically acknowledging he's gonna run into some friction. And come on, doesn't this sound familiar? We've all had those mornings where you just know we're gonna have to deal with that person at work or in the family.
Now, you would think, right, the most powerful man in the known world would probably respond with just pure authority or anger. But he does the complete opposite. His solution isn't about winning a fight. It's about reframing his own perspective before he even talks to anyone.
Okay, so here's his mental jujitsu. He tells himself that these people act this way because they're basically ignorant. They literally don't know the difference between good and evil, but he does. And then he reminds himself that, on some deep, fundamental level, we're all related, all sharing the same portion of the divinity. That one simple reframe can turn your frustration into something a lot more like sympathy.
And he wraps this whole idea up by saying that getting angry or avoiding people is actually acting against our own nature. We are literally designed to work together. So for him, getting into a conflict isn't just unpleasant, it's fundamentally unnatural. Next up is a tool for those moments when you're just lost in the weeds of a problem, feeling completely swamped. Marcus recommends what we might call the cosmic zoom out, or the view from above. Let's take a look at how it works. The whole process starts by looking inward. He separates his physical self, what he calls the little flesh and breath, from the part of him that really matters. He's not saying you should hate your body, not at all, but just see it for what it is: blood, bones, a network of nerves. The real you is something else entirely. And this something else, he calls it the ruling part. This is your mind, your consciousness, your ability to reason. For Marcus, this wasn't just brain chemistry. It was a kind of divine spark inside you. It's the source of all your strength, and it's the only thing you ever truly have control over. Okay, so from that deep internal focus, he then zooms way out. He reminds himself that he's not just some guy, but a tiny piece of this vast, interconnected cosmos, an efflux, or an overflow from a much greater whole. And from that perspective, your personal problems start to look a whole lot smaller, don't they? And when you get to that cosmic view, it leads to this profound sense of acceptance. He argues that whatever happens, even the stuff that feels awful to us personally, is actually necessary for the universe as a whole. It's all part of a bigger, rational order, what the Stoics called providence. So your job isn't to fight against it, but to play your part as well as you can. Now, the third tool in his kit is maybe the most powerful, and it involves thinking about something we spend most of our lives trying to avoid: our own death. But for the Stoics, this wasn't morbid. It was the ultimate motivator. I mean, just let that sink in for a second. There is no ambiguity there. He's saying that at any moment, it could all just be over. So the real question becomes, how does that change how you act right now? See, it's not about fear. It's about focus. It just makes everything crystal clear. And he even gives us a clear formula for this. If this were your last act on Earth, would you be doing it with dignity? Would you be fair? Would you get rid of the carelessness and the ego? This simple test just filters out all the trivial nonsense and focuses your energy on doing the right thing. In short, memento mori, remember you will die, is really a call to live with intention. It's about treating every moment and every single action with the weight it truly deserves, because hey, you might not get another one. And to really drive this point home, he reflects on how everything just fades. The most famous people you can think of, Scipio, Cato, Augustus, they become just names. Then they become obsolete words, and eventually they're just buried by complete oblivion. Even if you were remembered forever, what is that really? A mere nothing. The takeaway is so clear: chasing fame is pointless. Building your character,
That's everything. So we've gone through 3 of the Emperor's tools: mental armor for difficult people, the cosmic zoom out for perspective, and using death as a motivator. But what does it all lead to? Well, it all points to one central, powerful idea.
It's the ultimate question, isn't it? Is happiness in success, or in getting other people's approval, or just avoiding pain? Well, Marcus has a very, very clear answer.
He says that unhappiness is basically a guarantee for people who don't pay attention to their own inner world. It's a waste of time to worry about what your neighbors are thinking or doing. Happiness isn't a job you do on the outside world, it's an inside job.
And this is it. This is the final lesson that ties the whole philosophy together. The world is going to throw chaos at you, people will be difficult, your body will eventually fail, but that ruling part, your mind, that's your fortress. Mastering your thoughts, your judgments, and your reactions is the only real path to genuine freedom and peace.
We'll leave you with this one last thought from the Emperor. Life is fleeting. This moment right now is all we ever truly have. So the only question left is, how are you going to choose to use it?